Hey there, welcome to My Green Pets. I'm William Green. There are so many things in bloom right now. The tent has a powerful fragrance of all these different things in bloom. It's just so nice. I'm gonna give you a little bit more sober update today. The other day when I got home, I just about lost my mind when I opened up the tent. I was so excited. I've cleaned up all the dropped catasetum leaves so you can see that there's just a few left. And we're just going to jump right in. We're going to start with Cattleya labiata. And this is first bloom on this plant. The flower hasn't opened up all the way. I don't think it's going to open up anymore. I think this is all it's going to do for its first bloom. But it's pretty. I like it. Cattleya labiata, fall bloomer. And the first Cattleya species ever described back in the 1820s, I believe. So it's been around for a while, and this is the type species for Cattleya. This was the plant that William Cattleya bloomed and was named after him in England. So what else we got? Lots of catasetum types. Where will we start? Let's start with our new acquisitions. So earlier this fall I purchased this plant. This is Alexis Jesus Pardo by Dark Swan, and I gotta be honest, I'm not super excited about these flowers. I think that the color is really bland and the spotting isn't very distinct. Looks just kind of muddled. The lip is really nice, but the rest of the flower I'm not super impressed with. So I don't know if I will keep this or not. Not doing, but they always say you have to give it 2 years, but even the whatever this thing is called, the column is bent, got kind of a crookedness to it, and all of them have that. Anyway, so there it is. Next to it we got Cycnoches, Fire Embers, and Fire Embers has a really lovely fragrance and a cool color as well. Looks like these are actually starting to fade. So nice to see you again, Fire Embers. Over here we've got Clowesia, Rebecca Northern Mikabi. Mikabi's got several buds on this spike here, and also got another spike pushing out at the base of that growth. You can kind of see it right down there. So that's really exciting because I think Mikabi has the best shaped flowers of any of the Rebecca Northerns that I've seen so far. Back here we can look and see Rhododendron Aristocrat. Still working on its sheath. You can see that it's a double sheath. There's another one inside there. Really hope to see this thing bloom in the next couple of months. Really love those flowers. Fragrant at night. Soapy jasmine fragrance. Mormodia Jumbo World has got 4 spikes, all at different stages of development. And one is already mostly open. You can see these flowers have that nice speckling and a citrus menthol fragrance, but not too strong. Next to it we've got Cycnoches cooperi. I had the hopes that these might have green flowers, but as you can see, nothing green at all about them. They have that typical cooperi fragrance, kind of like chocolate scented rubber. And of course I've already knocked the pollen off of one of them. You can see there the pollen's missing out of the column, so that one's starting to fold up, but it's okay. Still pretty impressed with 6 flowers on the first bloom, and it's a cooperi, so I'm probably going to keep it. We'll see. Next to that we got 2 more Rebecca Northerns. On this side we've got a clone from SVO I got a couple years ago that I call this one Aurora. It's fully bloomed out. The color on this one is okay. It's got little hints of pink, but it's more of a greenish color. But the fragrance is very strong. Next to it, we've got a much older clone. This is Grapefruit Pink. This is from the 80s. This was awarded back in the 80s. And the color's much better. Nice pink color on these guys. And the fragrance, even though it is not quite as strong, it is sweeter and I like it better. So I think overall the flowers are bigger and nicer on this plant, but the fragrance and the color is better on this one. So we're going to see what Mikabi gives us when it opens up. Anyway, so that's a nice trio of Clowesia types there. And then we got one other guy here that's opened up. Look at this. Cycnoches warszewiczii. Oh my goodness, this thing is enormous. Wow. Crazy. So, I can't see my screen right now, sorry. Yeah, it's huge. I measured it. It's about 13 centimeters across right now, and it's still opening up a little bit. It's got another flower down here that's not going to be able to open fully because it's got the spike as well as the bulb here, keeping it from opening up. And yeah, I'm going to leave it alone until it opens up all its flowers, but that is pretty impressive. That is pretty cool. Really like it. Huge. And this top flower is already starting to give off fragrance, and it is a very nice, strong, sweet fragrance. Really nice. Like it a lot. So that's what's going on in my tent with the orchids. Let's take a quick look at the other plants. We've got some Nepenthes in here doing some exciting stuff. Namely this. These tiny little seedlings you can see in here are just now sprouting. It'll be about 8 weeks since they were sown. I sowed those seeds on October 1st. Here we are 2 months later, and the seedlings are teeny tiny, but there they are. So now it's just a question of time. This is Rajah by villosa. When this occurs in nature, it is a natural hybrid called Kinabaluensis. I don't know if we can use natural hybrid names when the hybrid is artificially made, but I don't know. Rules for naming Nepenthes are different from naming orchids. Anyway, that's super exciting. This is a very desirable cross, and it's not widely available at all. So I'm super happy. I have at least 8 of the seeds that have germinated. I'm hoping be great if all 11 seeds germinated. Next to it, we've got Nepenthes eustachya. This guy kind of suffered a little bit when I first got it. It's taken several months to acclimate, but it's working on a new pitcher. This nice new leaf looks great, and I think it's finally rooted and it's going. So that's great. This one has like pink and white pitchers. Very cool. My Nepenthes pervillei. It's working on a new pitcher. The color still looks a little yellow, but I'm hoping that this newest leaf is going to be even bigger than the last, and that we are finally going to get some momentum going, getting this guy growing well. This is Rajah by Edwardsiana, and you can see the newest pitcher is actually a little smaller than the previous pitcher. Not exactly sure why that happened, but the leaves are nice bright green color, and the plant looks healthy otherwise, so I'm not too worried about it. Back to the orchids, we've got Hal, Bulbophyllum echinolabium, pushing out its newest leaf. That looks to be a nice one. Slowly unfolding there. And then I have to be careful not to ignore my little Cattleya rexes. This is kind of my I guess everything's a long-term project in here, but these are my rexes from Peru, Flora. I got them as tiny little seedlings in May of 2021. So they're really starting to put on size, and several of them are putting on nice new growths. So I'm thinking that these guys, they get a healthy amount of neglect, but I also have to make sure that they are getting enough water, that they're not, nothing, water isn't sitting in the growths and rotting them or anything like that. So they're kind of in that awkward teenage stage where they're kind of moving into adult growths instead of the little seedling growths. So keeping an eye on those guys. And then, Bronze Vixen over here. This is another Cycnoches that bloomed once and it wasn't done. It wants to bloom again. So we got some more coming out of that. Whew. Oh, and also a little flower that kind of tries to go unnoticed, but it's actually really cool. This is Tillandsia recurvata growing in my Dowiana rosita, and it's in bloom. Look at this. It flowered. Isn't that cool? Tillandsia. And its common name is ball moss because instead of its cousin Spanish moss, which kind of hangs and dangles and forms big drooping clumps, dangling clumps, this just kind of creates a big clump like a ball. And these plants actually, this recurvata actually came from Stephen Van Camp and Lewis's backyard a few years ago when I visited him. And I just think it's a cool little plant. They're all over the place in Texas, but it's cool to have something like that in your collection as well. Man, a couple more Nepenthes. I have to be really careful because I could just knock stuff over so easily. But these are two little seedlings I got from Kujawa Orchids back in March. It's the same cross. It's bongso by a cross of Cattleya and densiflora. And man, these things grow so fast. The newest pictures are so much bigger than the last ones. And you can see, even though they're siblings, the coloration is very different. And the shape's different on the pictures too. The way they hang and everything is quite different. So that's super cool. Looking forward to seeing those grow. And next to it we've got it's now technically coelogyne, but we all know that it's Dendrochilum tenellum. And you can see the spikes are everywhere all over this little guy. And I made a mistake, I think, by potting it in this container because the top is more narrow than the sides. So I think after it blooms, I'm going to yank it out of there and put it in a more appropriate container where, first of all, I can get a little bit more air at the roots, and second of all, it won't get stuck in there. So that should be blooming, well, looks like it's still another month away at least. So let's hear it for winter bloomers, guys. That's when you really need those things, these beautiful flowers, just in the winter when everything outside is dead or sleeping. Okay, well, that is the collection update for this week. Super thrilled just how good everything looks, and good things happening everywhere. Super great. I also have noticed I haven't seen a whole lot of fungus gnats either, so I think the mosquito dunk treatment must hopefully be working, and I'll reapply that probably within a week or two, just to probably give it like 3 applications. And that just means watering with mosquito dunk water. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Everything looks great. Hope your collections are also blooming like crazy right now. And we'll see you next time right here on My Green Pets. I'm William Green. See ya.